Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharyamadhyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So at least until Taittiriiya is over, Punjabication will be on the job. Okay. The prayer verse, 2 verses?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
We have to do the ninth one.
Yeah, after that, yeah. Yeah, you can chant that also. The convocation address, no? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shanno mitrasham varnah Shanno bhavatvajyama Shanna indro brihaspatihi Shanno vishnurukrama Namo brahmane Namaste vayo Tameva pratyaksham brahmasi Tameva pratyaksham brahma vadishyami Rudam vadishyami Satyam vadishyami Tanmavavadu Tatvaktaramavadu Avatu Mam Avatu Shantaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, ninth Anuvaga.
Yeah.
Swadhyaya Prasamsha.
Yeah.
Ridam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Satyam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Tapascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Damascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Shamascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Agnayascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Agnihotram cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Aditayascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Manusham cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Prajaja Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Prajarascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Prajadischa Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Satyamiti Satyavachara Didara Tavaiti Tavo Nitya Paurishiti Swadhyaya Pravachane Deveti Nagomo Kalya Tattitava Tattitava.
This section that we are going to see today is literally a convocation address. Okay? When students are passed out of the Gurukula, don't think of them as adult students. Okay? These are children who have gone probably at the age of 6 or 8 for learning and passing at around 18 or so. 12 years of Gurukula Vasa, and they are passing out. So, in a Gurukula traditionally, there were all types of learning. It is not that only Vedika education was there. It had all types of education. The Vedika and the worldly both. Whatever was necessary at that time. Okay? Because education has to be contemporary, what you need to live in a society at that time. Plus fundamentals like mathematics, logic, etc. Those are fundamentals given. Then of course, depending upon the size of the Gurukula, some of them were large Gurukulas. So they had multiple disciplinary. Okay? Like those who wanted to follow the Brahmana path, priestly studies, etc., that was available. Those who wanted to have the Kshatriya thing, that was available. Okay, martial art training, all that, with certain Vedic thing as a base, Vedic and secular as a base thing they had. Yeah, even skills were taught. Okay, business skills, etc., Arthashastra, etc., was also taught. So it depended on the size of the Gurukula. It was a big Gurukula, means multidiscipline, or they were also specialized schools. Okay, after you finish the Gurukula, further specialization. Like if you belong to royalty in those Mahabharata times, there was no prince or chieftain's son who did not go to Dronacharya school. He ran a very specialized school. Only the art of war, nothing else. Okay? Yeah. In fact, he was considered one of the greatest teachers of the time. Okay, the art of war. So that was very specialized school. Okay. When was Vedanta taught? Ishvara Jnanam was given to everyone. Knowledge of what is Ishvara, what is a Devata, invocation, prayer, dharma, karma yoga, this much was taught. Why? Because they are still young, 18-year-olds here. How much are you going to teach Vedanta? Vedanta is meant to be asked for. So they may be a student capable of it as an 18-year-old who will go to the teacher and ask for Vedanta Jnanam. Then it would be given. Otherwise, Pariksha Lokan, like we saw in Mundaka, examine life, go through some of life's experiences, learn, grow, mature out, and then find a teacher and study Vedanta. So, this was the system of living at that time. Everyone knew that moksha was the ultimate goal. Ancient society, everyone knew moksha was the ultimate goal. That didn't have to be said. That didn't have to be said. Okay. Why? Because Varnashrama Dharma was followed, especially Ashrama Dharma. You finish your studies, get married, set up a family, withdraw from the executive, retire, advisory capacity for some time, then take sannyasa. So many people by 60 are taking sannyasa. Okay. And by 60 you are still fit and fine. If you have lived a Vedic lifestyle, with regular yoga, this, that, etc., and the lifestyle as such, you are still fit and fine to study and be able to teach also, because life has prepared you. So, what type of life you need to live is an advice given here. Okay, what do you need to focus on? Because people will be doing different things. Some may be running a business. Some may be working for somebody. Yeah. Some may be part of the king's army. How do you know who is going where? Yeah. And what are they doing? It's open. Yeah. But what is the underlying link that made it the Indian culture, irrespective of your job or your professions, irrespective of your professional life? So this also gives you some insight into what the culture was about. Okay, what the culture was about. All right, so let us look at it. We already done the chanting. Ritam cha swadhyaya pravachanena. Ritam, what you are sure is the right thing, what you have verified as the right thing. Keep doing it. Swadhyaya, just because you have graduated out doesn't mean you know everything. Continue your studies, self-studies, swadhyaya. Pravachanena, teach others as well. Teach others. Okay? Whatever discipline you have, teach others. Because it was not that until they went to the Gurukula, nothing was done. Okay? They were introduced into basic disciplines at home itself. Yeah. In a fun manner, in a playful manner, everything was introduced. Okay. Therefore, Ritam cha swadhyaya pravachanecha. Satyam cha swadhyaya pravachanecha. Satyam, truth. What you believe is true also. May not have verified it yourself. Maybe what the Shastra is saying. But Satyam cha swadhyaya pravachanecha. So, swadhyaya and pravachana follows. Okay. So, the focus, remember, you have left a Gurukula, graduating out, but focus on still continuing your learning and helping others who don't have the chance. See, One thing was, people may not have gone to Gurukula because of some reasons, true. But it was never because of want of money. It was not that the education was so expensive, people couldn't afford it. In fact, education was free. You come to Gurukula. Gurukula was generally handled by the acharyas, by the rishis. Okay? Spiritual leaders handled education. And past students maintained the Gurukulam. Students who had benefited from the teaching and now they are in society working, making money, they supported the institution. Because somebody supported them, now they support others. And education is not complete until you give your Guru Dakshina to the Guru. How was the Guru Dakshina in those days? When the Guru felt that this boy or girl is ready to graduate out, that batch of 2, 3, 5, 20, 100, whatever, would be sent to the king's court, to the royal court, whoever the local king is. There the scholars would examine. If they graduated well, if they have answered the questions well, okay, they would be given a purse, a bag full of coins. That they are supposed to go and give it to the Guru. Because that now they have got it on their own. Agreed, the studies that what they were taught, but therefore as a sign of gratitude, that was given to the Guru. Therefore, there was no pressure on the student financially. In India, of course, the parents take care of the education. Pressure is on the parents, not on the students. And if you are in USA, by the time you graduate out, you have a huge debt on you. Thousands of dollars. You have taken loan, you have to start paying it off. No. Certain things like knowledge, food, etc. was available for people. Okay. What you needed to survive and what you needed to build up the society in terms of education, etc. was given. Great system, not applicable nowadays. Nowadays people start education institutions to make money. Except ashrams, etc. Okay. Yeah. All right. Therefore, satyam cha swadhyaya pravachane. Tapas cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Don't forget your tapas. What you need to grow. Okay. Whatever disciplines you need to bring into your life for your growth. Okay. It could be something simple. Ekadashi fasting. Why? Because now is not in a Gurukula where you are given survival diet. Now you are going to set up home and family and this and that. Khao, piyo, maja karo. Yeah. Therefore, once a week, fasting is good. Once in 2 weeks, Ekadashi. Okay, fasting is good. Acha. And fasting is without fast food. Okay. Fasting is water, ideally. Difficult, all right, some fluids, some tea, buttermilk, etc. Chalo. That's also difficult. All right, Baba, some fruits. Anything more than that is not a fast. Don't eat your sabudana vada and ratali and all and say, I am fasting now. Okay. You're just having a varied diet, that's all. Unless your health does not permit it. Like some people, even south, they will say, no, I will not eat rice or rice products. They will say that. Yeah. North India will have to be wheat and wheat products. Okay. But you can't substitute it with millets and make your rotis out of millets and all that thing and say, yeah, fasting. So, simple tapas like that, or more difficult forms of tapas, whatever, but do something, he says. Take care, bring in that discipline and growth in your life. Therefore, tapasya swadhyaya pravachane cha. Not only that, now you are going to live a householder's life. Therefore, dhamasya swadhyaya pravachane cha. Physical discipline, dhamma, mastery of the body, important. In the Gurukula, it automatically happened. Why? 2 meals a day. In the Gurukula, 2 meals a day. No snacking in between. खाइए नहीं कुछ. But when you are running a home, bore हो गया यार. You are sitting and reading. It happens to me also sometimes. At the end of the day, I am sitting and reading something. Suddenly I hear a voice. Come on, I am waiting for you. When are you going to come and pick me up? Then I go to the kitchen. The chocolate is calling out to me. So, when you are living at home, all these things happen. Therefore, dhamascha swadhyaya pravachane. Ashram, in a Gurukula, you lived a very disciplined life. Good. Don't forget that. I mean, you don't have to be that strict after all. Now you are graduated out. So you can be a little bit slack about it, but don't forget your Dhamma.
Maharaj.
Yeah?
When we talk about Swadhyaya, continuing our Swadhyaya, what kind of learning are they talking about?
Any learning.
Vedic studies?
Learning in your profession, learning in terms of spirituality, or both.
Okay.
And in any society, there are, okay, I have to mention this to my teachers also. Any society, one needs what I am going to call it as, geopolitical, socio-political awareness. We need to do that. And very often we Hindus are very slack in that. What's happening in the society? How is what is happening in Bangladesh affecting us? They say in Bangladesh, what are we concerned? No, there is a concern. Government has asked for feedback on Waqf Board Act. What is that? Many of people here don't know. Because a socio-political awareness is pure. What is a Waqf Board? क्या होता है मालूम नहीं. कुछ है ऐसा है सुना है. The modification of the bill in 93 was so bad. They can come and claim your building that you are staying in, saying this is Muslim property, property of the Waqf Board. Clear out. You can't go to court. You can't go to court. You will have to convince the Waqf Board that it is not their property. So the accuser, the judge, everyone is the same. How can they make a law like that? Have you even read it? Government has asked for feedback from people. Have you all seen that? Anyone here has responded to that or at least seen that and read it? I don't think a single person here has done it. I'll be happy to be wrong.
I've done.
Huh?
Yeah, I've done.
Good Jagdish.
I have also done, Maharaj.
Good, excellent. At least 2 people. Others don't even know about it. So, socio-political awareness is part of that Swadhyaya. You are living in a society, do you know where the society is going, or are you going to blame the government for everything? Government is asking you, give us a feedback. How many governments before have asked? So, this is part of building up your socio-political awareness, geopolitical awareness. You can't say, I want nothing to do with politics. Politics affects every aspect of your life. They are the ones who make the law, no? The law affects your life. Simple as that. You can't say, I am not interested in politics. Yeah, you may not be interested in terms of standing for an election. But Indians are so pathetic, they don't even go to vote. No, I had this, I had that. So, Swadhyaya includes all this. Developing your socio-political, geopolitical awareness. You are not living in an island. I'll tell you something. When I was living as a sadhu in Rishikesh, there's no proper ashram. So newspapers, etc., to get every day was next to impossible. Okay? Honestly, newspaper, that was a condition those days in Rishikesh, where I was staying. Therefore, next to impossible. Money was in short supply. We are living on Bhiksha. Those days, Guru Dakshina was 2 rupees, 3 rupees, 5 rupees, oh, good amount. This is how it was. I'm talking of the late 70s, early 80s. So naturally, money had value there. Yeah. And Uday and I would save up money so that we could pick up this magazine called India Today. Some of the older people will remember that magazine. It was a magazine of news analysis. Why? We can't pick up the newspaper, but once a month pick it up and read the analysis of the news, be in touch with society. Even though you are living in Rishikesh, isolated from everything else. Yeah. Be in touch, see what is happening. $5 was a big amount of money that time for us to spend a month. In $5 you would get your toothbrush, your toothpaste and some oil for your hair. That's how it was. So, Swadhyaya, Swadhyaya includes all this. Therefore, tapasya swadhyaya pravachane. Okay. Shamasya swadhyaya pravachane. Shamaha, mastery of the mind. You have developed some of it in the Gurukula, keep developing it so that you are the master of your mind. You are not victimized by your own mind. Because why? Gurukula, the exposure, the temptations, everything are very limited. Now you are in society, you are a free bird. Okay. You are not afraid of the Guru coming and finding out what you are doing. Who's to question you? You won't. Shamaha, master your mind and live in harmony with Dharma. That is the idea. Agneyascha swadhyayascha. Agnihi. Okay. Agni is whatever worship you are doing. If there is a home, if you are setting a home, there should be fire and cooking. If there is no cooking, it is not a home. You can't live only on Swiggy and whatever. You're setting up home, no? I know people in Bombay whose kitchen is non-functional. They have a kitchen, but it's not functional. If you're a sadhu, it is fine. But even sadhus like me, I have a functioning kitchen. Basic. Khichdi milega. If the maid doesn't turn up, you'll get khichdi. That's it. But basic functioning is there. Yeah. Only one sadhu I know among all of us whose kitchen is closed permanently. Swami Paramarthananda from Chennai. Why? Lunch and dinner is always brought by some student or the other. Either he is taken to them or they bring it over to him. And because when your students are getting lunch and dinner, etc., it will be a bit heavy, therefore he skips breakfast for health's sake. So, yeah, sensible. But other than that, if you are a householder, Agni, fire should be burning. That's why they'll say, even in English there is an expression, keeping the home fires burning. Yeah, home fire is burning. Agnihotram cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Agnihotra is a religious ritual. The Vedic ritual that you are supposed to do as a householder, you are supposed to do Agnihotra daily. It's not like it will take half an hour. Simple. As a brahmachari, it is Samhita Dhanam, 15-20 minutes. As a householder, Agnihotra. So nowadays that is replaced by your puja, etc. Why? Acknowledge Ishvara in your lives, keep that bhakti, etc. going. It's important. You need more prasada buddhi if you are living as a householder. Therefore, more bhakti is necessary. Therefore, acts of bhakti to bring it out and acknowledge Ishvara's role in your life. Therefore, Agnihotram cha swadhyaya pravachane. Atiteyascha swadhyaya pravachane. Along with everything, there is swadhyaya and pravachanam. Swadhyaya and pravachanam. Focusing on the importance of it. Atitischa, the guest who walks in without an appointment. When I was growing up, we never, in Bombay also, we never rang up a friend or told him we are coming on one day. We just dropped in. If he's there in the house, fine. If he's not there, chalo, theek hai, dekhega. It was like that. Nowadays, we have to book our appointment with our parents also, if they're staying separate. In the West, definitely. How many friends can you, in today's world, just drop in without checking up whether they're at home or not? Atiti is this person who drops in without an appointment. Without titi. Atiti. Without giving a date. Without an appointment. Atitisya swadhyaya. And Atiti is welcomed. Atiti devo bhavaha. Be one for who treats the Atiti as God himself coming to you. Atiti devo bhava. That is the idea. Manusham cha swadhyaya pravachanish. Manusham. What you have to do in terms of your functioning with other people in the society. What I talked earlier as socio-political awareness. Manusham. Swadhyaya pravachanish. Which will also mean, you know what's happening. Not gossiping. What is happening with your neighbor. However, the neighbor dies and 3 days later when you start getting smell from it, only then you will know. It happens in Bombay, no? If it happens in Bombay, it happens in other cities also. No. Be aware of who's around. Yeah. Manusham. It's your humanity. Not gossiping about their kids and things like that. Look at that person, what dress he is wearing. That is not the question. Yeah. Manusham. Your social responsibilities. Okay. Prajachat swadhyaya pravachane. Praja. Hey, have kids, he says. Have kids. At least your replacement should be there, no? Countries that have practiced extreme forms of family planning are at a disadvantage today. Yeah. Because they are not being able to replace their population, their workforce. Therefore, economy is going down. Yeah. Then you will have to depend on immigrants. And then depends upon what type of immigrants. Hindus, Buddhists, etc. will build up wherever society they go to. What do you get? Fanatic Islamic people coming. What's happening in France? To an extent in Britain. France, the problem started almost 30 years ago when they accepted a lot of people from Algeria. That's when the beginning of the problem was there. How do you know that? Because 2 intelligence officers spoke to me on that. I'm putting it on record here. How they are having the problems. Germany is having problems. Nordic countries, Sweden, Norway and all handled it very well. Even though birth rate is low, but still there is a replacement available. Therefore, praja and prajanascha, okay. Procreation, taking your line forward, okay, taking the line forward, important. Prajatischa swadhyaya pravachane. It's like my mother saying, Mom, you have been a great mom, don't worry about that, Just wondering whether she had done everything or not. I said, no, you're a great mom. No. I don't want to be a great mom. I want to be a grand mom. Prajati. Yeah, make sure the line keeps going. No? Beyond grandchild, you can't ensure anything. Therefore, he says, Prajatischa. Of course, remember this was said minimum 6,000-7,000 years ago, when the population of India was very, very minimalistic. Today we can afford not to have so much, okay? Yeah. The world is getting overcrowded. But the problem is, if cultured, educated people don't keep their line going, children, etc., will continue their learning and growth forward, then the world will be full of people who are uneducated, uncultured, not willing to do things. Therefore, little bit now we have to modify this in today's world by saying, all right, okay, can I have a semi-adoption in terms of seeing that the child, another child, a poor child, his education is taken care of. Maybe my maid's child, I can educate, help with that. Yeah. From my limited resources, I do that. Yeah. Keep them. Bring up people in terms of education, etc. How will a country grow? If half the country is uneducated, how do you expect the country to grow? Yeah. But some of them are first generation learners. If they are first generation learners, you can't expect them to be good doctors and engineers or MBAs, because they can't face competition from families that have had generations of learning. But there are huge amount of trades that they can pick up and they have a very decent life. Fitters, plumbers, electricians, with great need in society. Entrepreneurs. Yeah. Entrepreneurs in terms of small scale, not starting a entrepreneurs don't think always software company. Okay. Yeah. Vada pav is also entrepreneurship. Okay. I know this lady in COVID times, her husband was running a shop, cloth shop, and doing well. What do you think happened in COVID? Cloth shop? Last priority, no? So down her road she started supplying meals to everyone. She's a great cook. Yeah. And she would ask me also, Swamiji, aapke liye kya no? What I can send you? I said, no, I make a khichdi. So once in a way, she would send me something special that she has made. Yeah, because both her kids would come to my youth group and things like that, and they knew me. Yeah. So, all this, when you say grandchild, remember what it entails. Don't look at the limited meaning and stick to it. Look at the spirit of the whole thing and broaden that meaning. Okay. Okay, then Rati Taraha. Okay, Rati Taraha, the one who was born as or a descendant of Rati Taraha. Rati Tarasya Apatyam Rati Taraha. Okay. Like Dasharatha's son, Dasharati. Similarly, Rati Tara's son, Rati Taraha. Satyamiti Satyavachaha. He paid greater attention to Satyam. Why? He was Satyavachaha. Never would he tell a lie. Even to save his life, he wouldn't say. That was the person. Therefore, Satyavacha. He says, focus on Satyam in your life, truth in your life, realities in your life. Relative and absolute both. Focus on that. No. Tapah iti tapo nityaha paurisishtaha. Paurisishta, the descendant of Purusishti. He is saying tapas because he was tapo nityaha. See, now these are all special cases of people who took something, one aspect, and developed it to a great extent. Tapasity. Yeah. So all your energy work, etc., will come under tapas. Probably he was a great yogi and things like that. Okay. Swadhyaya pravachanena eviti nako maudgalyaha. Okay. Naukaha. Okay. Nakaha, sorry. Nakaha. The son of Mudgalaha. He is saying what? Swadhyaya pravachanena. Probably he was a Brahmana. So he limited it to Swadhyaya and Pravachanam. Swadhyaya and Pravachanam. Maybe he was a Kathakara. Maybe he was a Bhagavatam expert. Sorry, Bhagavatam was not written that time. Bhagavatam came later, na? Vyasa's time. This was earlier. But a Kathakara. Because that is also a profession. Yeah. Stories are inspiring. Stories are what keeps the civilization alive. Stories are the collective memory of a civilization. If your stories are forgotten, you are forgotten. Think about it, okay? Yeah, if your story is forgotten, where is you? Why do you think people want to write autobiographies? It's a push for immortality, yeah. Not that it gives you immortality, but at least someone will remember you. Otherwise, who will remember you? If you are lucky, your children and your grandchildren. After that, who will remember you? Really? And do you want to remember your great-grandfather? Grandfather you will remember. Great-grandfather? Tha koi? Yeah, when I go to Kerala, I hear the stories. You know the one who started our family line, Mundyata Madam? Yeah. He was a rebel king and so the first one story I hear. There's a small shrine to him also in my village home. Okay? He was a rebel to the local king. He founded his own dynasty. He got horses from Sindh Desha, which was rare in Kerala those days, to mount that rebellion. All that he did. So his story we remember, okay. But after that, they were people, of course. They were people, yeah. Who remembers beyond grandfather? And that also I remember only on my mother's side, not on my father's side. Why? Because my father said he died when my father was young. So, your story is a story of civilization. Therefore, Kathakaras are important in that sense. Yeah. But they have to tell the story. Nowadays, our Kathakaras limit him to Ramayana, Bhagavatam, etc., which is good. But what about what is happening after that? Yeah. Otherwise, history is a collective memory. Otherwise, a few people can distort it, which is what happened in independent India. No? Post-British, history got distorted. Why? Because collective memory is not there. Why is collective memory not there? Because Kathakars are focusing on Bhagavatam Ramayana, not what's happening today. Only in Punjab, at the height of the Khalistan movement, I travelled. Taran, Jalandhar, etc. I travelled in all those areas, okay, as a sadhu. Because I wanted to see what's happening. There, some of the Kathakaras used to keep the modern story alive. Yeah. In Kerala, we had some people called Chakyarakuta. They will make some social comment. But that's all. A few social comments only. Through Ramayana or through Mahabharata or through Bhagavatam, they would make a few social comments, but there was never a social story told. You are understanding a little bit of Indian culture? We talk a lot, oh, we are Indians, our culture should be kept alive, etc. पता है क्या है करके. What goes in the name of Indian culture today is only orthodoxy. Yeah. What type of a teacher he is? विभूति भी नहीं लगाते हैं. Look at that girl, she's coming out without wearing a puttu. I mean, that you call as Indian culture. Hey, Narayana. Yeah. Iti tapo nityah iti maudgalaha taddi tapaha. All this is tapas, he says. All this is tapas. Therefore, look at what a student is being told when he is passing out. Oh, you should be successful in life. Build up a great career. That is a given hoega, na. If you are good in what you do, career will happen. We have studied everything here. Yeah. You are a good archer. The king's army will be proud to have you. Not a problem. That is a given. What is not a given is talking about these things. Yeah. You studied Arthashastra well, you will be able to run your business, no issues. But in all that, don't forget dharma, don't forget satyam, don't forget ratam. Are you seeing that? It is your competency in terms of dharma that is being talked about. Because what keeps a civilization alive is dharma. And the willingness to do what necessary to establish that dharma, to keep it going. This is not a simple thing that you just skip over, okay? This is not, it's all thing, yaar. Main thing is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Time hai, aram se. It's not going to go anywhere. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman is not going to go anywhere. These things will go everywhere. Yeah. So, this also will give you a clue what to do with your kids, isn't it? What to do with the next generation. Not through advice, through living it. Yeah. What do you focus on? You will quote Narayan Murthy. Oh, good ethics is good business. Very good. Narayan Murthy said it, no? Such a successful person, he said, good ethics is good business. Correct. Then I'll ask you, that means a honest man can make lots of money, no? What happened? You're saying good ethics is good business, means a honest man should be able to make lots of money. That nobody agrees to. Yeah, good ethics is good business only if there is professional competency. Professional competency, your education is supposed to give it to you. At least skill-based education can give it to you. Professional education can give it to you. Ethics is a choice you have to make. Competency in business, etc., the organizational structure when you are starting work will take care of it. Unless you are being an entrepreneur, you are having a startup, etc., which you have to set it up. And most startups fail because they don't have the structure set up. I have been looking into this because I used to do so much of corporate training. I used to look into very poor structures. Yeah. It's not that easy as it sounds. Yeah. Organizational structure to create is not easy. Yeah. Because we are all used to working somewhere where there is already a structure, we don't think about it. All this is part of your professional competency. That in traditional education was a given. You picked up your professional skills well. Yeah. I remember in my times, oh, you're a marine engineer from India. You are snapped up like this because your professional skill, we are sure you're a given. It's a given. Really. It was like that. We never had to go and apply for jobs. Mangala, ask your brother, did he ever apply for a job? We didn't have to. We had a nominal interview. And if we didn't like it, we could walk away. Why? We know there are others willing to pick us up. Why? Because professional competency was a given. Modern world. Ancient world, do you even think that someone who has passed out from Drona school would ever not be picked up in any army and given a high rank in it? I mean, can you even think of it? Yeah, I'm talking about the exceptional because that's all we know from records. Yeah. Or a priest coming out of Yajnavalkya school will not be respected and invited. Not only his professional skills, his ethical skills also was a given. Ethical foundation was a given. Arey Yajnavalkya student. Acha ye. Like today, oh, Arsha Vidya. You can't go wrong with those people. Everyone may not be a great teacher, but you can't go wrong with Arsha Vidya teachers. It's a given now. I hope we are trying to make sure that it continues like that. Okay. Because we are the first generation. The second generation is coming up now. Yeah. So this type of thing, what the teacher here is focusing on is your dharma, your culture. Can't afford to lose that because that forms your identity. And if you don't have an identity and this thing, you will not have a self-esteem. That's what's happening to modern Indians. They have not owned up their past heritage, therefore their self-esteem is suffering. Macaulay ensured that the education system made us ashamed of our own tradition and culture. Yeah. That's colonial thinking and we have to break free. We are not yet completely broken free from that. Yeah. We are not broken free completely.
Swamiji, we are not.
Yeah. You ask a Muslim, are you a Muslim? Ha, I am a Muslim. A Christian? Yes, of course. I go to the church regularly, at least every Sunday. He will say that. Hindu? Oh, I am not exactly. I am more spiritual than religious, you see. And all this only a Hindu will say. Go to Kerala, only a Hindu is a communist. Neither a Christian nor a Muslim is a communist. Only Hindus are communists. I know, it's my state. I know exactly what is happening there. Yeah. So, to focus on what is your cultural heritage, to focus on the values of living, satyam, dharma, etc. All this. Okay. Yeah, all this is part of the thing. Yeah. Yeah. The word dharma may not be directly mentioned here, but satyam and ritam is mentioned. Very often they are used together, it also includes dharma in it. Because dharma is based on truth. Ritam means the cosmic order of things. That is dharma. Dharayati iti dharma. That it holds up. Ritam iti dharma. All that is understood. So look at the focus. If this much is there, when someone is passing out, his life is made or not made? He's continuously studying to grow. He's taking care of things. He's socio-politically aware. He is living by dharma, etc. Special traditions are being kept up. Heritage is being kept up. He is interested in building a family, children, grandchildren, etc. You know, it is the focus on family that makes a nation productive. Why? The moment your family, you're thinking of building up home, this, that, etc. If you don't have that focus, why do I need a home here? I will just live on rent somewhere. Why do you need to own a? Arey nahi yaar. I have kids, I think we can't be on the streets. So, there's productivity coming up. I have to build for their education, for that. You know, that value then become more productive. Is that productivity that made a society like USA great? And that family structure is breaking down. There are 101 research papers showing that because the family structure is breaking up, productivity is going down. USA is in dumps now anyway economically. Britain is worse off. Why? Because of one of the I'm not saying only reason. One of the contributing reasons is this. Because family structures are breaking up. Nobody is thinking of building up, people are thinking of surviving, that's all. But when you're thinking of children, grandchildren, etc., you're thinking of building up. Of course, the other extreme should also be avoided. What is the other extreme? There was this good businessman, Bombay, some years ago. So those days, your accounts, etc., were not computerized. All Munims used to sit down and write it. And there is a special way of writing it also. Nowadays, that is another thing that's being lost. So this guy asks his Munimji, bataiye, please show me what is my worth in terms of money, assets. What am I worth? So he said, Sabji, आपने कारोबार इतना फैला है, your business is so spread out, I will need 2 weeks to make a proper assessment of it. He said, okay, no problem. So he comes on a Friday evening and says, Munim ji, Sabji, fikr mat kijiye, no fear, nothing. Why? 7 पीढ़ी बैठ के खाएगा. 7 generation can sit and eat. अच्छा, उतना बड़ा? हाँ, that you're worth that much. अच्छा. सोमवार से नया कारोबार शुरू करेगा. We'll start a new business. And he's already 60-year-old. Munim ji is saying, why? 8वां पीढ़ी क्या खाएगा? The 8th generation. Don't go that much also, okay? Productivity is one thing. Okay. But this is going the other way around. So you want the flip side of it? One is 8th पीढ़ी तक खाएगा. Flip side, this long back, I heard this in, where did I hear it? Lucknow or Banaras or somewhere I heard it. Somewhere North India, that side. I traveled a lot in all these places, so I heard it there. अरे पुत्त सुपुत है तो कादन संचय, पुत्त कुपुत है तो कादन संचय. If you have a good son, no, capable this, that, etc., why are you building up wealth? He knows how to make his own money. And if your son is an idiot, kupata hai, useless character, why are you building up money? He's only going to blow it up and become a waster. So either way, don't build up money. Two extremes. Have a balance in terms of productivity, Because it also takes care of another human need, the human need to leave a legacy. Your legacy may be a bank account with 10,000 rupees. Or it may be you're a middle class person, an apartment or something. But there is this need in human beings to leave a legacy. So we did focus on the physical aspect. India was a rich country. There was a time when 32% of the world GDP was ours. Okay. So India was a rich country that way, productive. At the same time, that was not the main focus. Our main focus was all this tradition, heritage, literature, culture, the truth, understanding the truth, moksha. That's the main focus. Okay. So if you live like this, if a youngster passing out lives like this, in time he will question what is life meant for and come to Vedanta also. It doesn't have to be told. I have tried to put some of these things into my youth group youngsters, and many of them are now coming back to study Vedanta. Over the last 30 years I have seen this. Yeah. Many of them are coming back and say, Swamiji, we want to learn more about this, that. Yeah. I said, good, come. They will, because they are living well. So when they came to me as youngsters, in their teenagers, now they are all in their 40, 35, 40, they will want more out of life. They become successful in life. Yeah, conventional success they have had, now more. It will happen. Yeah. So that is the Rishi's advice. Important to keep it in mind. Okay, you saw that. Next, there are a couple of more verses. After that, we will go into Vedanta proper. Okay, good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.
Swami,